Welcome to the Forever Better Academy podcast, where you will be given the principles, tools, and techniques to reach the next stage on your journey of self-mastery. Who could you become? I'm your host, Wade Vincent. Hey guys, lovely to have you all here. I can't believe already we're 4 episodes deep, and this is a wonderful thing. So for those of you that are new, this is the Forever Better Academy podcast, where you are given principles and tools, techniques, and basically insights that have helped me along my journey, share with you so that you can take those tools and increase and improve all the aspects of your life that you're looking to do so with. And from there, once you've mastered those things within yourself, then you can take those elements and share them with other people. So I wanted to talk to you guys today. I think this is a very overlooked topic, and when it was initially shared with me, it was something that was so powerful in that it gave me that shift that I needed. Now, I honestly believe, as I said, we're 4 episodes in, and this is a good place to sort of start. If you've started and you've been with us since the very first episode, it's a nice sort of progressive step from the first 3 episodes and what we discussed. So what I wanted to talk to you guys today about, I would honestly say, one of the most foundational and pivotal, powerful tools that will help you on your journey of self-mastery. And what I'm talking about is taking ownership. Complete ownership for every element of your life, everything that happens. You know, there's a saying that I think that really rings true is you everything that happens for you, not to you. So what I'm going to dive into today, guys, is basically taking ownership and how such a simple mental shift can change the entire trajectory of your life. Because as we're all aware, it's about mindset. If you can frame it right in your head, if you understand the way that you need to approach and attack life head on with the right mindset, everything after that is just doing the work and being consistent with it. So what I want to stress right from the first moment is you must take ownership for every single thing in your life. No matter what it is, no matter how far removed it feels or it seems to be from what you're responsible for, you have to take ownership of everything. So let's say, something as simple as you're showing up to work on time. That's a very straightforward, simple thing a lot of people would understand. You have ownership of that because you believe already that that's within your control, because if you have to be at work at 9 o'clock, you have to maybe get up at 7, maybe jump in your car at 8:15. You know that you can take control of those things to deliver that desired outcome because you've taken ownership of it. You know that responsibility falls upon you, and you have enabled the steps because of that to get the desired result. So I think a lot of times it's easy to sort of get caught up because bad things happen. Life is suffering. There's defeats and there's pain. It's not all highs. A big part of internalizing this concept, I think one thing that someone shared with me once is worth mentioning to you guys is basically there's sort of 3 forms of knowledge. So you can comprehend something. Then the level beyond that is you can understand something. So you grasp the concept. And then the third element is it's instinctual to you. It's almost like it doesn't need to be thought of or processed. It's become an internal piece. You understand instinctually what something means. And I think this is the trick. It starts with just that awareness of that you need to take that ownership. So if you can start the process of accepting that you have to take that ownership of every element of your life, it'll shift in wonderful ways that you might not imagine. Now, the hardest truth, I think, that a lot of people don't want to hear, and I'll tell you straight, because here, all the things that I went through that helped me on my journey of self-mastery and proving and growing as a human, was not all of it was easy to do. They say, it might be simple, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. A lot of it is painful. A lot of these truths are very hard to face and deal with and accept. That was that turning point, that pivotal moment for me when this hit me, and this is a huge thing. I know I keep saying, but I got to stress it. Repetition drives it home. If you start to look at it and see it in that way, where it's yours to own, it's yours to grab a hold of, it's yours to take, it's yours to move forward with, it gives you so much more perspective and ability, and when you do that, it's painful. It doesn't feel nice when you sort of look at it and go, I'm responsible. Because what that stops you doing is making excuses. It's very easy to push ownership onto somebody else because it resolves us of our our responsibility to own the situation. It's easy to get stuck in that way of, if someone else is responsible, I can be lazy, or not that people want to be lazy, but it allows you that like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a scapegoat, like you have that loophole, that way out, or way of getting around things. You're cutting corners, and I think the hardest truth that hit me was, as I said, I'm responsible. I am the reason I am where I am in my life today. All my thoughts, all my actions are what has gotten me to this very point. Now, when I had my big moment of clarity, my mental shift, and it's progressive too. This evolution. It evolves. Those ideas and thoughts keep growing. You have new shifts, new concepts and ideas, more epiphanies. Higher understanding, if you will. It hit me hard because I looked at it and I was like, okay, well, this moment where I'm standing, it's on me, and it's hard to hear that. And I'm not gonna tell you some bullshit lies. I'm gonna tell you what's helped me, and this has helped me. And going through the pain is what gives you the growth on the other side. You have to go through the pain, because pain is a motivator. It shifts you. It's your body's way of saying, hey, this isn't comfortable. It doesn't feel right. You need to do something about it. So pain's a powerful motivator. And as soon as you start to take that on board, you know that you're responsible for where you are in life. As soon as you take that and you take that ownership, you regain control. It's yours again. Your life is yours again. You have this moment of clarity where suddenly the world isn't against you, and it never was. It never has been, and it's never going to be. It's you making excuses because the work is hard. It's genuinely a difficult thing. Anything worth doing is difficult. Anything that gives you an outcome that you're looking for, that you've got to, push past the point where you feel like you're not capable or it's not a possibility for you, you've got to break through new barriers, new thresholds to go higher and higher. That is difficult. It's hard. this journey we're all on, everyone's journey, the hero's journey, we're fighting through, slaying dragons and being, thrown off course and obstacles that we never expected to come into our world. But we've got to own it. It's our journey. No one else can take it for us. I think part of that too. The reason why I believe that people are afraid to take ownership is because once you take ownership of your life, you have to accept the consequences. The people fear consequence. When you're a little kid and you do something silly, actually, this reminds me, I'll tell you guys a story of when I was in grade 6 in primary school. This is in Australia. It was, a day after the Karate Kid had aired on TV. And this is the original Karate Kid, this is the Ralph Macchio Karate Kid, not the Jaden Smith one. They're both good. I like them both. And every kid's excited, right? We're at school and every little kid's, doing roundhouse kicks and punches and fly kicks, and we're just like being kids, excited because there's this, this cool thing, karate. It's fun, and I remember the classroom was this old sort of fibro board on the side of the building, and then these glass louvers with a metal sort of rail that stopped people, opening the louvers and breaking into the building. And we were jumping from the end of the sort of car park area near the building, and I was like kicking the wall, like just I'm this karate kid, I'm kicking the wall. I'm Ralph Macchio, and I kicked the wall, and we were all doing it a few times. And then when I kicked it, my foot went through the wall, like I kicked a hole in the wall, and I was like, oh my God, I've just broken my classroom. I'm in so much trouble. I was like so scared. I was afraid of consequence. And my mum raised me right. She taught me, you've got to face it. You own it. If you do something, you take ownership. You tell the truth, and then the consequences are yours to deal with. And if it's bad, you've learned a lesson. So I remember our groundskeeper was Mr. Bates, and I all my friends were scared. They didn't want me to tell him that I'd kicked this hole in the wall because we're little kids. We're like maybe 11 years old, and we're scared that we're gonna get suspended or kicked out of school or have to pay to fix it. And I remember going and telling Mr. Bates, being scared, and just I knew I had to accept it. I thought I've just got to take ownership of this moment. And I went and told him and explained what happened, and he was understanding. He knew I was a kid that was just being silly, and I made a mistake, and he took care of it. It was all good, we went and sorted it out, and he got the wall fixed, and I wasn't in trouble. I didn't get suspended because I took ownership. And I think it's a great example. That's the story. It's such a simple little story of my past, but it really demonstrates well that sometimes there's more fear in the act of taking ownership than the actual outcome of doing so. It didn't kill me. It wasn't the end of the world. It didn't, change my life drastically like I would, lose my education. And I mean, sometimes the consequences are drastic, based on what your actions are. But if you face those consequences, even in the worst situations, the beauty behind that is taking ownership empowers you. It takes something that suddenly, that you felt was controlling you, and then it flips that and gives you the control back of the situation again. Now, even if you feel like it's so overwhelming that you can't bring yourself to do it, it'll let you regain that control of your life. And if you don't take ownership, the the flip side of that is that outside forces suddenly control you. They take ownership of you. If you don't own it, you don't own your life and your actions and the responsibility that's been bestowed upon you as a living being, you've lost all control. Now, when you get to that point, if you lose control of your ability to take action and own and be responsible for what's happening in your life, this leads to all kinds of problems. This is when it can be so daunting. You become overwhelmed with the pressures of life, and you can look at, well, ask yourself, what's harder? Is it harder to take ownership of your own actions and be responsible for what you're doing? Or is it harder to live the life where outside forces dictate the type of life you're going to have and the experiences that you have and where you are at life and what you get handed? I know where I would rather be, and I've been in both positions, because before I took my steps and took ownership, and as I said, that's foundation, that pivotal thing, that huge shift. This is a massive change that I'm sharing with you guys that I really want to you guys to internalize, take it, own this, own the conversation. If you are in that perspective like I was, I felt depression. I felt anxiety. I felt hurt, sadness. I felt misery. I felt just this gut-wrenching, sick feeling getting up every day because I couldn't come to terms with the fact that this is my responsibility to take ownership of every situation and element within my life. Even to the point now, I've watched it shift things for me. Even if it's something that someone else says to you or does, or let's say someone you have like like an arch enemy, or someone that's just messing with you, taking shots at you, they're playing games with your career, or they're putting roadblocks in, especially this is a big topic. Like it's 2020 and women still face things like this all the time. Like my wife has her own struggles as a successful educated woman in her career. She faces dramas and roadblocks because people put these in her way, but she doesn't sort of sit back and just go, oh well, these other people don't believe I'm the right person or good enough or that I'm educated enough. She owns it, and then that gives her that control back. And now it might be a hard road for people more so than others because of the situation or the hand they've been dealt, or where they grew up, or how developed the nation is they live in, or the resources they have access to. But I promise you, no matter what position you're in, if you're beginning, if you're further down the track, wherever you are in life, taking that ownership of every element gives you power. It'll be the huge shift, that transition that you're looking for. I promise you this. I almost could have made this the first episode of the podcast, because it's that key, powerful mental shift that empowers you to have freedom. That's control of your life. You imagine, if you think about, I accept without any condition or thought or restrictions, and maybe I'm not wording this right, but bear with me. I accept everything within my life and I own it, and that enables me to have the power to do something about it. If someone does something I don't like, I can let it define me, I can let it dictate me, or I can own it. I can own how I feel about it. I can own my response to it. I can own my decision to ignore it. I'm in control. And I think if you, as I say, if you give away that ownership, you're giving away your control. Do you want to delegate control of your life to somebody else who doesn't have the best interest at heart for you? Who else is going to have the interest for your life other than you? Who else can possibly have your best interest at heart other than you. It's yours. You have to own it. You have to make the most of it and do what you can with it, because if you don't, that control is to other people. Now, as I said earlier in the conversation, when the ownership is about accepting responsibility, and it's freeing. You know, I look at how different my life has become in the last 5 years. As I said, I used to wake up miserable, didn't want to go to work. I used to wake up angry. I was working in a job that wasn't fulfilling to me. It wasn't driving me forward. I wasn't learning or progressing. Literally, it was so I think I spoke in an earlier podcast. It's courier work, you know, like you load a truck with brown boxes, you deliver those brown boxes, you pick up some more brown boxes, and then you unload those boxes. I remember being asked when I went for the job at the beginning, the driver trainer said to me, "Are you okay with repetition?" Now, at the time, you know, you're just like, yeah, I want a job. I've got to support my family. It's what it is. But nothing changes. It's just the same thing. It's day in, day out, you know, and I wasn't taking ownership of it, because what I was doing was the bare minimum that I had to do. I knew that I had to go to work and get up every day, and it got to a point where I was like so anxious and overwhelmed, and started having panic attacks. And I remember going to asking my bosses I needed to take annual leave because I couldn't cope, and they wouldn't give it to me. And I remember going to the doctors and getting a referral to psychologists, because like I was having a mental breakdown, and you know, they gave me some tools and some ways that would help me, that you know, not as in depth as the sort of other tools that I learned when I took ownership of my own healing and my own health and my own path to recovery, because I stopped accepting that I was going to define myself as this is who I am, this is how I'm going to be, because of other things that I'm allowing to be factors that control me. Now I know this is a hard conversation to hear if you're not ready to hear these kind of things. You know, some people may be sitting here like, bullshit. What does this guy know? But I promise you, I wouldn't share this stuff with you if I didn't know it was of benefit, because I've been through it. It helped me. You know, I was in that position, and you know, I did the work. As soon as I had that snap, that click in my head where I was like, it's on me. All of a sudden, I could, like, you can honestly feel it. This weight lifts off your shoulders, and you sit up straight, and you're like, I'm back in charge. I'm back in control of my life again. And you have to make that conscious decision first, because unless you fully commit and accept and own the ownership, for lack of a better term, you know, you can't begin to heal and do the work and grow from it. It's I honestly feel I know this is a big call, but I'm gonna say it. You know, I honestly feel this can be a cure for depression, mental health issues that, you know, we all suffer with. Some of us, you know, find it harder to get out from underneath these things. Some of us, you know, I'm sure at every time in life, I'm honestly believe everyone at some point goes through depressions, you know, goes through mental health issues, goes through struggles and adversity. You wouldn't be human if you didn't. And I'm doing this because I know the extreme mental shift that's given me complete freedom and clarity, and I feel like I'm just beginning. And the wonder that's changed in my world can be the same for you. It's there. It's for you. I know. I promise you this will work. So I want you guys to you know, reflect on this. Take that time. Sit back. Maybe listen through again. Maybe there's something that I mentioned that you know, you might not have caught on or picked up, or you know, listen through again. Listen with an open mind. Take what I want to share with you and see what you can get from it. You know, we're all in this together. I hope this brings some value to you guys. I really feel like it's that pivotal thing. As I say, you know, the take ownership for every aspect of your life, every element of your life. And you watch the change. Watch your world become your world again. Now, I look forward to sharing more with you guys, and I very much am enjoying going on this journey with you. I want to leave you with that parting word. You know, who could you become? All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, every Friday there'll be new episodes of the Forever Better Academy podcast. If you're getting value from this, if you're feeling a sense of progress or relief, let me know. Send me a message. You know, we're on all the social channels, you know, foreverbetteracademy.com. You can find on Facebook, on Instagram. You know, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Share it. If for some reason that this has, you know, crossed your path, but it's not your message, share it, because maybe you're destined to share this with somebody else that needs to hear it in your world. So let me know how you guys get on. I wanna hear the stories of your growth and your success and your triumphs. So let's talk again soon. This is Wade Vincent. Who could you become? I'll talk again soon, guys. Have a great afternoon. Bye for now.